Well, you won't get a lemon from Toyota of Orange.
Wrestling buddies want to be your buddy.
Drug-free's the way to be.
What do you think you're doing?
Well, Miss Musso, we were just doing a promo.
Welcome to Home Wrestling League.
I am Penny Dreadful, joined by Juno, Gimmick Needed Bradley, and Crystal the Casual at the Unicorn Soundboard, and this is Home Wrestling League. Welcome to our recap of Night 2 of Magamania. And hey, they can't all be winners, right? You know, they can't all be really good. You know, one thing I think about having watched wrestling, and we'll get to the wet fart that was the end of Night 2. Because this is the first time that I'm watching Cena be an active champion, because being lapsed for about 15 years, I missed that entire first run of his. And so this is really interesting, having been a person who watched wrestling since I was in diapers and remembers that first time the Mega Powers are breaking down. And, Hulk hits Liz off the apron and he carries her to the back. I remember that vividly. I was maybe 4. But I missed a lot of this section of that set up this current, crop of wrestlers. What I also miss in that frame of time is the way the internet took over the world and shaped and changed both wrestling as it is and how we all engage with it.
Yeah. When
I came back not just to wrestling, but an entirely different view of it altogether.
Yeah, with how the internet has taken things and ran with them. Now that we have more internet access, because around 2005, 2006 is when I started to get into the internet side of wrestling and going on dirt sheets and stuff. And that was the rise of John Cena. So the fact that they never turned him was one of those situations where he sold too much merch and he was the only guy that was,
moving merch like that at all?
Yeah, moving merch like that. So you kind of had to make him a face for as long as you did. Then CM Punk came along and that changed for about a year and change. And John Cena was supposed to be heel then, but they decided against that. And now we have last night's WrestleMania.
Now we have this.
Yeah.
And what would have looked like? What would we have today if they decided to do it then? If when he started getting boos because they were tired of him being the way he was, they decided to go with that. And that brings us to what the consensus is, that the best matches of the whole WrestleMania is the ending of Night 1 and the beginning of Night 2. We put an asterisk on the Intercontinental title belt match we'll get to. But yeah, of course, we all expected Bianca, Io, and Rhea to absolutely put on a banger, which they did. The moment, it might have been before Bianca's music hit, and they decided to retcon her WrestleMania streak by reminding us that she lost at Battle Royal at Mania 34, which I completely fucking forgot about. I knew from that moment, okay, she's not winning. And it's fine. But we're in an interesting space where Bianca's getting boos everywhere. For some reason, it was in Europe and now it's here. And what happened with Cena is what's happening with her, because we're tired of not me, okay? I'm never going to boo Bianca, okay? I'm just going to put that down there. I'm not going to. Number 1, because I love her. Number 2, because black. And number 3, because I don't boo who you tell me to boo, okay? I don't subscribe to the heel face thing, And even now with Seth being our heel, I'm not going to boo him now. I boo what I want to boo. But it's interesting to see the way crowds are reacting to her now. And what are they going to do with her now? Are they going to take the notes that they missed with Cena and apply them today?
I think Bianca could just disappear for like 2 months and then come back, and
I think she
they're not
needs
gonna.
a good break, and she deserves, to be honest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
A nice reset would do her and everyone good.
she's too talented to be a professional wrestler.
Too blessed. Too blessed to be stressed.
Like, I don't know if you've seen the online video of Shannon Sharp and
Probably. It's Shannon Sharp.
Shannon Sharp and I think it's Ocho Cinco and a really good basketball player named Joe Johnson. His nickname ISO Joe. There's a picture of Bianca Belair, and those three older black men are just enamored. Like they have never seen anyone that beautiful.
Shannon Sharp said something nice. Shannon Sharp said something nice about a black woman.
It's like, hey, Brun clock.
Both clock right twice a day.
Shit. Yeah, but like I said, she's too good at being like
her,
she's too
at being her.
Yeah, she's if you go back to the Royal Rumble, she kind of saved the Royal Rumble.
This year?
Like, she shows up and then everybody just starts to wrestle better. Like,
by osmosis, she just changes the atmosphere.
It's just like Bailey was there, she's trying. Roxanne Perez is there, she's trying. Then when Bianca shows up, then everybody's just like, "Oh, okay, I actually have to wrestle now."
Right? We got to step it up. We got to step it up. We got to step it up. So knew from that moment she wasn't gonna win, but then I want is Rhea going to, like, I was like at that moment, could Io retain today? Could that happen?
I had a feeling that was going to happen going in because of how they booked the situation. Before we get to anything, Rhea is the villain throughout this entire feud. They made her into a really buff, petulant child.
And it's hard to make Rhea a heel, which they've tried really hard the last couple of years, especially with her turn in Judgment Day. But she's so good and so likable. It's hard to make her a straight up just bad guy.
Like, I mean, she is likable, but in this storyline, she's so fucking unlikable to the point where I'm like, you know what? You don't deserve this. Like, Rhea can have matches that don't have to revolve around the championship.
Yes, of course. She's at that point. Absolutely.
Which is funny because Charlotte Flair isn't.
Right. Now you have the chance to do it. Yeah. What are you gonna do now?
Yeah.
True.
But like when that match started, because I had told another friend of the pod, Maddie P, like at NXT, I'm like, oh, this is probably going to be the best match of the weekend. That girls match is definitely going to be the best. Like I knew it was going. And then when it started, I'm like, okay, that's great. And this is levels of Brett and Owen starting the show of WrestleMania 10 levels of good.
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh, they just stole the show. And the match is going on. They're all hitting their moves. All the white people in the audience are booing Bianca Belair because of non-racist reasons, which they'll tell you to your face. And all the moves. I
don't like her.
It's like, I don't
I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is. I just don't really like Bianca. I feel like I identify with this Japanese woman and this buff Australian girl, but I just can't identify with Bianca Belair.
Well, I mean, you know how some people are about Japanese women, so that checks out.
It's like, if you look up my if you look up my internet history, it's going to be very weird, but but I just don't know why I don't like. I just don't know why I don't like Bianca. Like I like Io Sky. Just don't look at my internet history. But I like Io Sky. But I think Rhea Ripley should win. Like that type of garbage that goes on. Like is when people are too
Proud.
cowardly. Yeah,
Mhm.
two people are too cowardly to be as racist as they want to be.
Mhm.
At least the
So,
ones that aren't, like, at least you know what you're dealing with.
yes,
That's up front. You're like, oh, okay, I know how to proceed.
which is why we should bring back segregation. Anyway,
Oh
the
my
match
God.
goes on, and they're hitting all of their strides,
Mhm.
and just taking all the moves, and the crowd is so into it. Like even
Mhm.
Tommy was texting me, like this match is like this match is escalating to the point where you're like, wow, this is really fucking good.
Uh-huh.
They do the same spot when EO won the NXT championship, where
Oh.
it was because Charlotte Flair had Rhea Ripley in the figure eight, and then EO hits the moonsault and pins Rhea. And
Oh.
that's how she won the NXT championship. So this is
Okay.
very similar because
Ah.
Bianca hit the KOD,
Mhm.
then she was pinning Rhea, and then
Mhm.
she got hit with the moonsault.
Mhm.
It's the exact same way.
Yeah.
Best match of that night.
Mhm.
That's
Probably
what
the
everyone's
best.
saying. Everyone's saying that was like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, between the previous night's three-way and then the opener, like those are the two best matches of WrestleMania.
I
Oh,
watched a condensed version of it that had all the best ofs,
Mhm.
and that was like a goddamn action movie.
Yes.
They were all over the fucking place, like
Yes.
doing fucking backflips.
110% from the gate, man.
Yeah, that was
Mhm.
insane. Jumping over each other entirely in the air.
Yeah.
Like, what is happening here?
Yeah. It's hard to make it can always be hard to make a triple threat look good because you
But
have
that one
to,
looked great.
right?
That was perfect.
No notes. Perfect. Yes.
Yeah.
And makes for, more interesting stuff. Maybe now, because I'm guessing that's what we're going to get, is Rhea Bianca one-on-one, straight out. And it doesn't have to be high stakes. It doesn't have to be for a title this time. We can get it one-on-one without it having to be about a title. Maybe
Yeah.
Backlash. I don't know. But
raise those stakes.
Right. There is those stakes.
I love steak.
Yeah, I love steak. So happy for EO. Well deserved. And a fantastic match. I mean, this whole Mania wasn't great. So not hard to have great spots.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that.
overall. Yeah, but still, absolutely awesome. All right, Damian and Drew. That also happened. I guess for
No, that match
people-
kicked ass.
It did. But I guess you have to like make a note for the guy from Slayer. I don't know nothing about Slayer except for the guys in high school who wore Slayer shirts.
It was
that was cool. Also, it was a thing.
It was funny because I was watching it at my grandparents' house. It's the house I grew up in. I was gonna watch WrestleMania upstairs, so my dad and my grandma was like, "No, watch it down here." I'm like, "It's like, no, you guys made fun of me for years for like wrestling. Now you want to leave?" No. Anyway, as soon as the guy from Slayer comes on, my dad is just like, "Oh, all right."
I love that.
What did your grandma say?
Just like my grandma wasn't really paying attention, but my uncle was there. It was just like, "Oh, this is a lot." And I'm like, "Yeah, no, it's awesome."
A lot, yes.
But bisexual Undertaker and Drew McIntyre, like, kind of like, it was a hard act to follow, but it was like the perfect match.
It was
to go after
exactly. Yeah, with
like,
the stakes and the tables and those like hard spots and those big guys who hate each other. And Drew McIntyre with that joke about posting during the match. That shit has legs. It's not going to get old for a while.
like, if he can only do it during WrestleMania, it'd be great.
Yes.
I just like the fact that this man is like 6'5" and almost 300 pounds, but he's chronically on the internet.
I just sent you guys something that made me laugh in my head, not out loud, but I laughed really loud in my head because I didn't want to, do it online.
Oh, yes. No, I get this joke.
Zeus. Put them on Zeus. Yes. Yeah. Two bears fighting.
That's exactly what it looks like.
Yeah, exactly.
What is it? A big meaty men?
Meat. Exactly. Yes.
Which, by the way,
wish they'd drawn a little bit of blood. I feel like with a street fight, you gotta get some color in there. But even without it, it was a great match.
Yeah.
And of course, the person who takes out the table and sets it up is the one who gets to go through it, never fails.
Mhm. Yeah.
Double
Yeah.
table going on. It was great.
It's Chekhov's gun. Like, that's literally
Yes.
that's what happens in wrestling. Like,
Yes.
anytime you set something up, you have to go through it.
Yeah, exactly.
that's just good storytelling.
Exactly. They tell stories. Yeah. It's hard to say because if they got colored that early into it,
Yeah.
like, I don't know how the rest of the night would have been. But he pushes him off of the top rope when he's doing the Undertaker spot
Yeah.
through the
Ooh.
tables,
Mm.
and then that's how he
Wow.
ultimately wins.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're like, damn, that was a crazy bump.
Yeah. Oh, but the Claymore against a chair, though, that was crazy work.
Yeah.
Woof. That was
Yeah.
a spot.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Chekhov's gun, he set that chair up like minutes prior and then was able to use it.
Yeah, exactly. This made Drew look great. They both looked good. It was a good match for both of them, but this made him look really good.
Mhm.
And I hope that this takes him somewhere because we've been waiting on some Drew McIntyre. Like he's been fantastic for a couple of years now. He's well deserved.
Because it's either going to be Seth or Drew against the Yeet Man. And
I think,
yeah,
from what I'm seeing, Drew would be more fun.
yeah,
I think so
Because of
too.
stuff like this, I'm sending you guys from Wrestle Ops on X, aka Twitter, aka always Twitter.
it's funny. When I went to NXT, I was literally sitting behind a guy who one of the columnists, he was sitting in front of me. When I went to NXT, he is one of the columnists for Wrestle Votes or Wrestle something.
Okay.
Like I've seen the logo before,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm looking over his shoulder because he has his laptop there, and he's just working on like Photoshop things, and you're like,
during the show, bro.
yeah,
Put it away. Enjoy it a little bit.
and like it's just weird seeing all the wrestling media there, and like I met Shoemaker. I said, "What's up, the cast?" I saw a Seahawk. He was sitting.
Oh.
I was sitting here. He was sitting over here. I didn't want to bug him, and yeah, it's just weird seeing wrestle media, and this is how they converge, and the nonsense of like pretending you're a news outlet covering a fake sport is always a really funny thing to me.
It's journalism, goddammit.
All right, but
Is it?
Drew McIntyre in the fucking weird product placement game thing that looked like
You don't want to play Doom, Penny? Doom's coming out. Doom's coming out in a couple weeks.
To be fair, the people watching this are their prime demographic for Doom.
And,
so.
What the fuck is
like,
it?
Oh, you guys don't know what Doom is?
No.
Yes, no,
I don't.
I know what Doom is. I worked with the director of the movie Doom. I know what
Doom
is.
first was a video game where you're basically just a person, a guy, I don't know, you're fighting demons from hell, but you have a big gun. So it's like
you're in hell fighting demons.
Yeah, you're in hell fighting demons, but you have a giant gun.
And so now what, near 30 years later, there's been more Doom since, but the new game's coming out, and that was like one of the things I wanted to talk about is the amount of product placement in WrestleMania now is become ridiculous.
Survivor Series, like 2021. Remember the Pizza Hut bit with
the
profits? I thought that was bad.
Oh no. If you go back to our review last year,
oh god,
like that is like everything. Wheatley's vodka, fucking the agua fresca, dude wipes. Shout out to dude wipes. Hopefully,
Wingstop.
Yeah,
the black people.
Yeah, well, I mean, Wingstop is delicious, but I'm just saying, like, there's so much product placement that
now they're making them wear it. Ugh.
Yeah, even tops. Even the tops thing where they make him
with
wear
the,
patches,
yes,
and
yes.
then like
Ah,
as a person who collects cards, I'm like, that's cool, but
Mhm.
like you
I
gotta
don't need it on Finn
understand,
Balor's butt.
huh?
I don't need it on Finn Balor's butt.
Like,
I did
Penny,
not know. You guys are talking about the product placement. I did not know they did a How to Train Your Dragon placement where they were like, Drew McIntyre is going to fight a dragon.
Did
yeah,
they? Oh God.
I'll send it to you guys. Hold on. Maybe it's not real. I don't know. It looks real.
I mean,
But you guys,
it probably is. It's getting it's approaching out of hand. It's getting there.
oh yeah,
Like
I just sent it to you
you
guys.
can see the when you're driving and you see the light you're supposed to turn out or whatever coming up, we can see the intersection.
yeah, no, it's real because
hand.
it's from the How to Train Your Dragon Twitter, but yeah, just the amount of product placement and everything is just so sponsored. Like they'll be like Snickers and WWE 2K25% WrestleMania, and I'm like, I get it, that's cool. However, we don't need this all the time.
Oh God. Let's go toothless.
Because you get it because he's Scottish, and in the movie, he's supposed to be Scottish.
Well, they're technically Vikings.
Same thing.
Same difference. Do not add us.
It's like, please.
We know our
Please.
history. They that's where they went.
Was like we don't care enough. All right, like everybody's trying to get there. I need to get viral and famous for 15 seconds. So there today, everybody's just like, I can't believe, this is such a MAGA company. Da 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 da. I'm like,
Modern.
you're yeah, like how MAGA and
Yes.
And CM Punk basically killed all that shit. It's just like you're basically saying I work in I work in an environment that's super MAGA while you're tweeting this on Elon Musk's like site.
There's no ethical consumption in capitalism. I thought we all knew this.
No. Like if say there was a huge scandal with LA Water and Power, and people are just like, I can't believe you guys paid your power bill because LA Water and Power did something really nefarious. And I'm like, yeah, because I have to have power. Shut up. Not everything is a battle. And I might cut this out, probably won't, but I just feel like black people made oppression so cool that white people have just abused it.
Yeah, of course. White people really, really want to be oppressed.
Yeah.
They have no life otherwise.
And like you can get mad at shit, but fuck, like let people enjoy some shit. But
everything's a Venn diagram, man. It's all a Venn diagram.
Yeah, and the center is always some bullshit.
And the center is always some bullshit. Exactly. Want to move on to the match of the evening for you? The match of the weekend?
When God does miracles.
I was like, could they really do it this weekend? I thought they should, because I feel like now is definitely the moment to really invigorate some life into Judgment Day, if not to break it apart altogether. And the way to do it is to put the belt on Dom Mysterio. But I was like, are they gonna do it tonight? I don't know, because Braun Breaker's a beast, and Penta's new, but they're probably gonna do it. But I was like, I don't know what they're really gonna do, and they really did it. Yo, I can't believe. And here, we're all saying it over and over. Here's the difference between Dom Mysterio and Logan Paul. Okay, we boo Logan because we don't like him, because he's a terrible guy inside and outside of the ring. It's always going to be that way. We booed Dom because he was a heel. He was a face who went to a heel, and it was fun to boo him, but we didn't actually dislike him as a person or a performer. It was fun to boo his character. And that's why today we could all cheer him, and why we were all on his side for having won this. I know you understand there's a difference, Triple H. I know you know it's there. Stop playing with us.
So I think I've talked about my love affair of Dominic Mysterio many
Dom
a
Hive
time.
over here.
Dom
Been
Hive all the time.
that way for a long time.
When
It started today.
when me and Tommy went to WrestleMania 39 and he has that entrance where he's in jail, aka the Auschwitz prison, because no one did the research to figure out like you probably shouldn't show an internment camp as a prison stock footage.
Oof.
I knew like that was the moment. And like I looked at Tommy, I'm like, this guy's my favorite wrestler now. It's instantaneously. Cause like I love the stuff where him getting arrested for interrupting Thanksgiving and then him
ridiculous shit I ever saw.
And just him and his girlfriend that pegs him. Like that shit was great. And just the fact that he's
out here.
Yeah, it's like the fact that the man loves chicken tenders is like calls them chicky tendies. Like he's so fucking great. And he just plays his character so well.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have been a huge Dominic supporter for so long that like now him getting the pop of WrestleMania, because like Tommy was like a minute ahead of me and he's just like, oh man, he just texted me that and then I'm like, what? And then I think you were like 30 seconds ahead of me and you texted what you texted. And then I saw him like,
miracle upon miracles.
He done miracles on me.
I came in with my, I'm only here because I'm Mexican. I was, what did I say? What did I text you guys?
Oh my
I
God.
probably said Viva la Raza. Probably
Yeah, I said Viva Mexico por la raza.
Oh my God.
Viva la raza indeed.
Because like Dominic is his character is supposed to be a scumbag, but he's one of those guys who can't do anything right. But one thing, like he will forever have a house because he could like fuck a woman well. Like he's that type of guy. Like he can't keep down a job. He can't do nothing great. He's a child. He's a perpetual child. He's essentially Tyrese and Baby Boy, but a grown professional wrestler.
Why are you dropping the Jody references?
Oh man.
It's like, Crystal, you know how much time? Crystal, you know how often I've seen BET? They literally play that. They play that in 5 Heartbeats all the time. Holiday Heart, 5 Heartbeats,
around the clock,
and Baby Boy.
Oh man, I wonder whether or not they were going to do it, and they finally pulled the trigger on that. And what a wonderful moment. And I think the right move for sure. Because Braun's had a good run, and there was a time where before he turned where he bored me. Like face Dom Mysterio was boring as fuck. And I'm like, one of these days they're gonna have to turn him, and they did it so well. They would turn off the mic when he got up there so the boos could be louder. And I was like, oh man. And the interesting thing is he's got the belt. He's got his first singles title, and he's not a face quite yet. He's moving into tweener territory, but just because he has a belt now doesn't mean he's all the way face, because he's still being kind of a little shit, which is fun. Because I think at the post show, he said, I took off my mask because it's just me, and everyone who wears masks, they do it because they're ugly, which is objectively false. Because anyone who's ever taken off, every luchador who's ever taken off a mask is fucking gorgeous every time. Which is why that joke works on just so many levels. Dude is hilarious.
Yeah.
And it's great. And we're so happy for Dominic Mysterio.
Man, shout out to him, man.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is gonna get to something else we're gonna talk about later, but last night when they were trying to drive him to the post-show section because it's outside of the arena.
Yeah.
He was in a cart with somebody and they hit a woman. They hit a woman, and after
I'm
what
gonna
we're going
send
to
you guys.
talk about later, it's actually funny. Like they cannot drive at the WWE last night.
I'm gonna send you guys something. I guess I just saw that right now. This is from X, and I'm assuming, yeah, this is actually
Someone
his
taking a bump off a
Twitter.
golf cart. Oh, father-son international intercontinental championships. Oh, it's so cute.
You goddamn right.
Eddie.
Shout out, man! I love Dominic. He don't pay for Twitter
Crap.
as well.
That's great.
Like,
Crap.
I mean, the only thing that sucks
Someone
about
did.
him is he loves Trump, but like I can get past that. Like I'm like a liberal white woman who dates a Republican. Like, I could see past that. I could change him.
I can fix him. That's the term.
Yeah.
Not change, fix.
Yeah.
I could fix him. And 3 kids later, you're just like,
well, time for a divorce.
It's like 3 kids later, it's just like, you know what? I never really liked vaxxing my kids anyway. Like that's the type of shit that you're gonna get. But
oh God, when did he say he likes Trump?
Well, you can look at all of his follows, and it's like end wokeness and all that other dumb MAGA shit. Anyway, but that match was good. I knew Pinto wasn't gonna win. I thought Finn Balor was gonna win for some reason.
Maybe.
I don't think Finn Balor knows what his character is, and that's fine. So when he came out with the yellow ass gloves, I'm just like, what the fuck what are we doing?
Yeah.
It's like never
Irish gangster.
Yeah, never has a guy's career just been so derailed because of literally one injury. Like he got hurt a decade ago and has just been scraping at the barrel.
Yeah. Oh man.
Poor
guy.
He looks
He'll be
like
all right.
well, he's Irish, so probably no. But he does look like what American people who don't know better would think a British chap might look like a thug.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
You can tell he's Irish. You can tell where he's from.
No, but like the outfit to people who don't know any better, they'd be like, oh, it's a English thug man. He's gonna say like bruv and all that.
Man.
but that's not he's Irish, and I know that's
there needs
subject.
like I there needs to be a wrestler that is like a British chav that's not Will Ospreay. Like Will Ospreay is one of the 5 best wrestlers in the world.
You want a British chav wrestler who's basically Eggsy from the Kingsman.
Yeah, exactly. Coming in with an Adidas tracksuit, matching Adidas tracksuit, saying "bruv," like just that type of.
Some kind of like some grime track.
They can't do it any other way, anywhere else. Because if anyone that's not AEW gets a bruv, they're just gonna say, "Oh, you just copying Will Ospreay." You can't do it.
Yeah, it's impossible because but there just needs to be a guy. Like sometimes you don't have to be the best wrestler in the world.
No, absolutely not. In fact, it's probably a gimmick that would work really well on a mid wrestler.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. It would, like there's a gimmick I saw a couple months ago where it's a man and a woman wrestler and they're a family, and their entire gimmick is we couldn't spring for babysitters, so they come out, but there's a bunch of kids behind them because they couldn't get babysitters that night. So they're telling them like as they're doing moves like stop it, it's talking to the kids. And I'm like, that's fucking brilliant. I can't think of the name of the wrestlers right now, but and like there's always great gimmicks. There's a guy who dresses like a 90s grunge rocker and his name is fucking Stephen Flo.
I love Stephen Flo. That's great.
Yeah.
And the song is Stephen Flo. Stephen Flo. Stephen Flo. I love that. It's excellent. It's brilliant. There's a gimmick for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. We'll move on to the Randy Orton Open Challenge. Look, this was fun. It was an exhibition moment for WrestleMania.
Mhm.
Absolute wrong guesses. I was fully expecting Miro / Rusev, Malachi / Alistair, because we know that they're done at AEW. They'll probably turn up at WWE at some point
Mhm.
after we learn that Kevin Owens was unfortunately not going to be able to be there because he's got to be out, because he was working through a horrible neck injury all this time. Shout out to Kevin Owens.
Taking them
I
terrible
was
bumps.
like, dude, look, someone said his name and he appeared, and it was a wonderful, fun moment to see Joe Hendry, the TNA champ, at WrestleMania against Randy Orton. Such a great 5 to 7 minutes. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fun moment.
Yeah, it was fun. Now that they have that partnership with TNA, their TNA champ looks like a dork. Like just the fact that
I'm sorry,
that
does he not look like a dork when he's over in TNA?
Oh no, because
he
he's
doesn't?
the main
Okay.
he's the main champion.
Okay.
But just the fact that he ate one of the hilarious RKO's ever, and it just feels so much like, oh, this is your champ. And
Yeah.
he's not in the fucking big leagues.
Yeah. Yeah. It was fun
Yeah.
and silly, and maybe didn't make him. I don't know how it made him look in terms of a champ. Everyone's got to eat a good RKO, and it's probably an not a blessing. That's the wrong word. An honor to eat an RKO at WrestleMania.
Mhm.
Did it have to be here though? Look,
No.
I'm gonna come back to it every time. There are 2-3 matches that could have been the Profits and Motor City Machine Guns.
Could have been, or he could have just. Well, we saw. I don't know if you've seen it this morning, but Karrion Kross cut the promo for Lifetime
of a lifetime,
and that's what he said, because he's from Vegas, and he was just like, I wanted to wrestle in front of my hometown and I couldn't, and like
he's had a moment there, and we'll get there, but
he's grown on me a lot, but
fully, yes,
he definitely could have. He definitely could have been that guy, and it would have been interesting.
Oh yeah, he could have been. Yes, he could have been in that match. Yeah,
I mean, to be honest, after that promo, I'm pretty sure he's the favorite to win Money in the Bank.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
They got a few that they can do it with, but like this Randy and the Open Challenge, we were supposed to get him and Kevin, didn't work out. Fun moment, but I don't know that it had to be here. And I guess at this point, they always have these spots, or especially recently in WrestleManias, where they're kind of riding that wave of momentum throughout the show, and they need to bring you down for a second and do essentially the comedy moment. I guess the one that I bring up last time is with Snoop and Shane McMahon coming out and immediately blowing both of his fucking quads right away.
We were there for that.
So, I mean, I guess they have to have these moments, but I don't know. I don't know why. I don't get it. I love Randy, I love TNA guy.
Yeah,
it's fun to see.
This is Joe Hendry.
Yeah, so strange.
Yeah.
Doesn't he have that theme song that everyone likes?
Say his name and he will appear.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
Which, by the way, guys, I need you to, because I'm gonna continuously update until we do that episode. Joe Hendry's on the list.
Is he? Oh,
yeah. I'm looking at,
because I find him to be regular as well.
See, that's why.
Oh, okay.
He's like you
have normal guy representation.
Yes, you could run into him in a grocery store and reach for the same product and have a meet cute. That's all I'm saying.
I love this. Good moment.
Yeah, and something that I realized on my way back to LA, I was playing out in my head. I'm like, there were no backstage interviews.
Yeah.
This is the first WrestleMania that's ever happened. There's no backstage segments or interviews. It is just all wrestling.
Yeah. No camera shot coming in. Except for, and I'm not really going to count Jay coming in because they started, with the shot of the crowd. Yeah, that's true.
Real quick, I'm gonna say something. Tommy's texting me right now, and he's at the T-Mobile Center because Raw is literally about to come on in like 1 minute. He took a picture, and it's O'Shea Jackson at the box office trying to buy tickets to go to the Raw after Mania to save money.
Now, anytime I see O'Shea Jackson Jr., I don't know who made a joke about it on the internet, but he was talking about how his dad was mean. Someone was like just doing their best Ice Cube. Get in the core. Every time I see O'Shea Jackson, I think of his dad. Get in the core. Oh God.
Oh, God. But
O'Shea Jackson Jr. trying to save money, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Like we are in a recession. Like,
are you rationing?
It's like you saw, and like it's like I'm paying $300 for some fucking nosebleeds, and you gotta do fees. What?
No, yeah, it's
nasty work.
Insane. Like,
then like this might go into something that I feel like this is the first TKO WrestleMania. And it really flopped. Like it didn't feel like a cohesive show. Like the endings felt weird.
It was last year's for the TKO group WrestleMania, right? Because didn't they get bought in like January or something like that?
They got bought in January.
But it was already in place.
Yeah,
right?
Everything was in place. But this is the first true TKO.
Yeah.
And it went out with a whimper. Yeah. And because you've priced out your fans. Like all the wrestlers that should have wrestled, like Sami Zayn and Bayley and all those other wrestlers didn't wrestle. And like once again, I'll bring up the same point. It was too expensive. It was way too expensive.
It feels like you guys are both saying that like night one was where they kind of blew their wad, and then there was.
I mean, I don't even think they blew their wad in general.
They kept it. They kept the wad. They didn't even finish.
Like Jey Uso match and then the main event are great.
Yeah.
As a sicko myself, I just like watching the Charlotte Flair Tiffany match because it's just two women that can't coexist trying to coexist.
And you know what?
And they fail tremendously.
Where it's the guy. It's a picture. I'll show you guys with the guy in a window, and it says "real sickos," and he's like, "Haha, yes." Like that's you. I'll send it to you. We have to put that in there.
And like the NXT show, it's fucking great. Like all the shows around town, great. I went to the Stardom show. It's awesome. It was awesome. Like everything, all the other.
You saw one of my top fives there. I'm very jealous. You got to be in the same room.
Mina?
Yeah.
All right.
There's no bounds.
And yeah, I mean that was a great show. And they were trying to get done so they could go to, because there was everything around town, and like I said, NXT was great. It's just this show was lacking, and now
show in town is like
yeah, and now like that they bought AAA, they're ultimately trying to kill independent wrestling because that's what they. Yeah, because they did that a decade ago when they scooped up all that UK talent, and then. They're just like, all right, we're done with you. Like, Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate and all those guys. I mean, without NXT UK, you're not getting Rhea Ripley, Toni Storm, or Gunther. Like that's fine. You're not getting Bird Girl, but they do their best to try to kill their competition. And like they are, and they are a business first and foremost, and that is what Vince did. He bought up the territories to kill the business for himself. And now AAA is just going to be a part of that, where they're going to be like, you know what? We are tired of this really old Mexican Lucha Libre company. Why don't we just call it NXT Mexico? And then just get some of the best like Instagram Spanish models with fucking dump truck asses and have athletic backgrounds, and we'll just put them there for a little bit so they could take all the all the pre-OnlyFans selfies and have their knee ligaments disintegrate.
Knee ligaments disintegrate.
R.I.P. to those knee ligaments.
Oh God. Oh shit.
Mhm.
Let's quickly cover one of the most inexplicable things of WrestleMania and of WWE in recent years. They're really trying really hard to make fetch happen with Logan Paul.
Yes.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: I don't even dislike watching him wrestle that much, because we keep saying by himself, hey, he's good in the ring. He's fun to watch. It's fine. But that is definitely pre-show business. And I don't know why he has to get wins against AJ Styles, against Randall Keith Orton and Kevin Owens in a triple threat.
It's because business. I just feel like when people say they're viral, they don't really think about what viral is. Like, viral is I never really thought about it until you said this, Penny, but a lot of these people's fans are kids, and kids don't have disposable incomes because they don't have to pay bills. And so you're basically making stuff for 13-year-old white children whose tastes will vary because white people don't really have anything. And then all of a sudden you're just like, oh man, I can't believe I liked Logan Paul for 2 years. And then they move on to the next thing. So he's forever gonna he's gonna be like a teenage guy. Whatever.
Scamming children for likes and clicks.
I feel that AJ Styles has always gotten the fucking shit end of the deal with WrestleManias.
And has.
Yeah. And Seth Rollins just showed up in a canary yellow suit with rhinestones on it.
You never make me hate Seth Rollins.
No, the man's fashion sense is impeccable.
It's funny because I'm watching the beginning of Raw. Becky is walking with Lyra, and then they showed Seth earlier, and I'm like, wouldn't they just show up at the same fucking time because they're married?
Yes, they would. They just have to do the walk-in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, what was I talking about? I just
Logan Paul.
Oh,
that commentary was so bad. I took off my headphones. I couldn't listen to it.
Yeah, I wasn't really paying attention.
The commentary was all over fucking Logan Paul and how he's so great and how we all must be jealous of him because of everything that he's accomplished and how he was rich and popular and famous before he came to wrestling. It was all of that all over that fucking match. And I was like, I looked at it while I was watching, and I was like, the main reason, okay, from what I know of Logan Paul, that he had success on the internet is because he did inflammatory, stupid bullshit in the first place to get attention. Yes. It's not like he made good content, and so a lot of people watched it. He did moronic things to get moronic children to watch him, and everyone else who wasn't a moronic child to give him attention for they hate clicks.
Yeah, no, he learned early on that hate sells way better on the internet than anything else. If you're mad and angry and you want to talk some shit, you're gonna get paid at some point. They've done it. They've got it down to an art on Twitter, aka the other site we shall not name. Because that's that makes me real mad because you can't argue with anybody on that site anymore. And that used to be fun for me because now I know I'm giving them money if I fucking engage.
Exactly.
I can't be petty and fun on the internet anymore, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, and
it's all Logan Paul's fault.
Getting to the match, he understands wrestling.
Yeah.
And
I think he said that he wrestled in high school or was an amateur wrestler or something like that. And I was like, oh, I guess that makes sense.
Well, the professional wrestling, being a professional wrestling character, not like X's and O's. Well, because you know,
I'm sure you've said before.
Oh, he didn't do like amateur high school wrestling or anything like that?
I don't know. Like, it's not that I don't know, Penny. It's mostly I just don't care.
No. 100%.
Let me look this up.
Yeah.
Let
But
me go to the Googles.
this is hilarious. John Cena's getting a bunch of fucking unnecessary pyro for his intro.
He's never really been a pyro guy.
I know, it's great. So
they're trying so I understand in their own twisted way why they keep putting him in front of us. I don't know why they have to make him win over and over and over again. It's kind of the exact inverse of what happened with LA Knight. Both of them presented as heels, as assholes, who were at first taking, losses. And because they wanted them to, he's lose. They want him to be, bitches.
yeah.
And they're like, we're gonna give him wins instead, and none of it's earned. LA Knight earned it by inexplicably kind of making us like what he was doing. We don't like what Logan Paul is doing, and yet you're giving him wins. And I don't get it.
So apparently he played football in high school, but he also qualified for state level Ohio High School Athletic Association 2013 Division I Wrestling Individual Championship. So he does have some background in wrestling.
Sure.
Which would explain the ease with which he has taken to this.
Sure.
The muscle memory.
Sure. That's fine. I can see it.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying. It's like, why, like you said, they're trying to make fetch happen real bad.
And oh boy, I think we're probably going to have to get to a point where we just quiet down. We just turn that joint off, give him nothing instead of booze.
Yeah,
but I mean, that's not going to happen.
It's not going to. Because again, we love to hate more than we love to love.
WWE is just like, well, I mean, you guys are fucking cheering him, so we're just gonna keep putting him in front of you all the time.
They boo him in his home state. Bro.
I mean, like, he's getting a reaction.
Exactly. A reaction is better than no reaction. For us to get rid of him, we'd have to give him no reaction. And we love to hate more than we love to do anything else.
Yeah.
I just don't know why it has to happen at like AJ Styles' expense, at Randy Orton's expense, at Kevin Owens' expense.
I just like the fact that AJ Styles is too professional.
Yes.
Like, if this shit was in the 90s and like you get Roddy Piper's like, all right, you're gonna go against. He's like, no, fuck that. I'm stretching him, and it's gonna be a DQ finish.
Yeah, exactly. You know, give us a 3-minute count out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
right? These guys are
I don't give a fuck.
Will actually wrestle with him and have a match instead of being like, fuck you.
I don't give a fuck if Mr. T and Cyndi Lauper are bringing in business. I will kill them. I will kill them in the ring.
I will hit them for real.
I do not give a fuck. It's like, you're getting a bonus. Don't care. I'm gonna kill him. But that doesn't happen now. So we just have AJ Styles working an okay match with Logan Paul, and then Karrion Kross shows up, and he's essentially the devil's advocate.
It doesn't happen there. I think if you put him in front of 2025 Moxley, he would die.
Yes.
It'd be awesome. But where they have him there, they can protect him.
Because, I do Uber. So because Hollywood went to shit. So I do Uber. If I practice the same, if I went to the same Uber place 100 times, I would know everything about it. And that's kind of like with Logan Paul, where it's just like you're going to the same place to pick up an Uber order and you're dropping it off at the same place.
Sure.
And at a certain point, you'll get fast at it, but you're just doing that one route.
Yeah.
And that's what it's like with Logan Paul. Like, he's good. He has enough time to practice these matches. It's something that wasn't extended to Ronda Rousey, but you know, like, it's Logan Paul, and
Wasn't extended to Ronda Rousey. I guess by the time Ronda showed up, you would have expected her to be as good as she could possibly be, given that, you know, she was already at the top of, had been at the top of women's UFC and had taken such a fantastic tumble at the end of her career.
Yeah.
That, you know, but before Logan Paul came on, you know, at the E, we didn't know him for being, you know, an athlete in any sort of way. We just knew him for being a white asshole.
Yeah.
At least before Ronda was, you know, a legitimate athlete.
It's like Ronda Rousey is the reason why so many women are in MMA right now. Logan Paul literally went to a Japanese forest and filmed a dead person. And like, these two things are
Not
vastly
just,
different.
you know, any dead person, but a person that had taken their own life in a
Mhm.
place known for that.
For that. Just
Somebody died at the
because
suicide forest?
he
Yeah, no.
knew that we would hate it. Like,
Yeah.
it's over. It's
Yeah.
I don't know I don't know how often we're gonna see him because he tends to be a part-timer, so I hope we don't see him until, you know, a week before Backlash. if at all.
You'll probably see him before one of the shows, that's one of those foreign shows. Because
When's the next time that they're going overseas?
I don't know, because Backlash is in the Lou. Is in
Oh yeah, St. Louis. Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
they're going to Paris at some point this year.
probably.
Yeah.
But Money in the Bank is going to be in LA, and you know,
Yeah,
knowing
right.
I would
God,
like
they're
to
gonna
go.
put him in that fucking match.
I would like to go, but you know, life has sucked.
Yeah.
So
God, Jesus, Bible.
So he might be there.
You probably will.
Yeah, but the match happens. Logan Paul wins via punch and that move, and
Yeah. And that's the moment where we see Karrion Kross, because I was fully ignoring that match. I was like, all right, I'm gonna, you know, wait, and then I was doing something else while the match was on, and I happened to look and it's, oh my God, Karrion Kross, maybe the moment, maybe he's not gonna get this fucking win. Maybe it's gonna turn into a good moment for AJ Styles. They had it in the palm. It's right there. It was so close. They could have done so much better with that.
yeah.
Another wet fart.
Oh my God, this is so fucking cool. I'm watching this John Cena promo. He's basically like, guys, I only signed up for 36 dates. And and then he's just like, look, I did all of these dates already, and the ticker is counting. I'm like, this is fucking great. Anyway,
yeah.
I think that was the moment I realized around this time. I'm like, there are like, it's so this WrestleMania feels so weird. It's way too corporate.
Weird.
It's more corporate than last year.
Yeah.
And if you were really about, like, sometimes wrestling can be in a round. You don't have to have a big ass setup.
Mm-hmm.
You could have people behind. And I think genuinely that was one of the problems, because in LA, they had people in the round. Like, they had people above the set. They didn't do that this year. Like, people were on the set, but they just didn't do that this year. I feel like it would have been a better experience had they just had people in the round. It would have been fucking cool. I say all that to say the next match, which is the beginning of, or which is the return of Becky Lynch, correct?
Yes, this is the one with the mystery partner and the mystery, you know, participant, where we all guessed right.
Yeah, where, like, as soon as it happened yesterday, and that is another thing. If they would have had like backstage segments from yesterday, and like, it's weird how I've watched wrestling for so long that I know I could write for wrestling, but no one would take my ideas seriously.
No.
Like, no one take my idea seriously. I know wrestling very well, and I know
Well, yeah,
story
you
well
you
enough.
predict almost half of the things we watch.
Yeah.
So you do know it well.
So when Bird Girl came out and with her wings, and then
That actually looks pretty good.
it looked really good, and
Yeah.
then her hair happened, and then you're like, oh no, baby. Like in any other day.
Oh my god, it was so funny that during the match there were literally feathers like coming off of her. I thought it was kind of perfect. The feathers are coming off of Bird Girl. And then they woo, and then they showed her with like the white and the gold, and I was like, oh, it looks fly. Ooh, pun.
Oh, that's a terrible pun. But
It's terrible.
and then like I said, Raquel Rodriguez is negative aura. Like, I know how kids abuse the term aura. She's just negative aura at this point. And then Liv comes out, and then all the dudes that hate Bianca are just like, Liv Morgan is the greatest wrestler I've ever seen. Like, don't get me wrong, Liv Morgan had an amazing year last year, and she's gone leaps and bounds.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like if you hate Bianca Belair, I know you think Liv Morgan is the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Yes.
Where you're just like, there's something about her. As long as like,
I don't know why I like her. There's just something about her.
I mean, please don't look at my internet history, but
Never check the internet history. They're the kind of people who have a friend that's designated as the person when that person does pass. They're like, you're the person who's going to delete everything.
oh,
Yes.
Penny, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love this. It's oh man, that was good. That was good. The end of this John Cena segment.
Oh yeah, wow.
Randy Orton RKO'd him. Like,
Beautiful.
yeah,
That's a lovely throwback.
Yeah, he's talking, and
Oh, that's right, because he said I'm coming for that title.
Yeah, it's like, you're never gonna see me again, and then you see Randy Orton come up right behind him.
Oh, they didn't play his music. He just showed up. Oh,
Yeah,
I love it.
Just RKO'd him.
RKO'd.
So the match is so forgetful, but the really big thing that came from this match is everyone was talking about Bayley.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no one cared that the woman who main evented WrestleMania is the first woman to main event WrestleMania.
She's back, and her hair looks great. It's not that really annoying red that it usually is. She looks great. Not a hang of ring rust on her. The time off did her really well. It was kind of an easy sell with her and Lyra. It's cool. But Bayley.
Yeah.
But Bayley.
Yeah. No, like Bayley stopped posting after a certain minute because I feel like they sprung it on her.
Oh God.
Because like you can have a Jada Parker boo-boo face and do that, but
yeah,
it's Bayley. She's been too loyal for the soldier for you to do that. And I hope
showing up on all 3 shows for a few months now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope Bayley, gets something out of this, like a feud or something. But the way
something.
Yeah.
I know we were talking about that, but like the Becky Lynch thing, there's like footage of like people crying because she showed up. Like younger people.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah. Like I don't there's a girl who's full on like face covering boohooing. It's really cute.
I don't have a bad thing to say about any of the 4 horsemen. Like even Charlotte Flair. Like, yes, like the other day we talked about it. I'm like, she's just like the kid that has a drug problem and always goes to jail. I'm like, it's my kid though. It's my kid.
The one you're always going to bail out no matter what.
Yeah.
It is interesting to see people talk about how. So let me get this straight. We hate Charlotte for coming back and getting a title match, but Becky Lynch can come back at WrestleMania and get a tag match and get the titles, and it's okay. And people will be like, yeah, because we like Becky, we don't like Charlotte.
I love both of those monsters.
Oh God, it is because Becky is much more likable and vulnerable and open than Charlotte. And that's going to have to be the test for her now. I think that the real reason why Charlotte has trouble getting over with the fans and doing things and having stories that aren't all about the title, how great she is and the blah, 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 is because she's not really truly vulnerable for real. And
Yeah.
I think that's what's missing with her. And I hope that they can actually work on that and help bring something out of her, because I think it's there, but they're gonna have to do some work with her to get us to really root for her as a person outside of the whole Flair thing, because we can root for Becky outside of all the things she's built, Becky 2 belts and all that stuff, and she's been through this and that and blah 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 blah. We can root for her from several different angles. With Charlotte, it's like just the one thing, she's the best, but she needs more. That's what's missing, and I want to see. I hope now that they go in that direction. Now that she didn't pick up the win this weekend, but that's the thing that's missing.
No.
Yeah,
Like it's already too late. Like Charlotte's one of the greatest wrestlers ever.
Yeah,
Like,
she
can't be
Well,
vulnerable unless she has one of those John Cena runs.
Exactly. That's the thing. They
Like-
did the one thing with Cena for so long, and they're now at the tail end of this, trying something different. Now we're seeing what that looks like.
Yeah.
They can do something different with Charlotte. She's gonna have to try. They're gonna have to try.
Yeah. Yeah, like they're gonna have to try, but it's not gonna happen. Like I love Charlotte. It's just she is too athletically.
Do you think that she's
gifted.
able to be more open and do actual
Absolutely
character
not.
work? Yeah.
No.
Sure.
No. Like I know they tried to do it, and I think they had Paige, aka Soraya, bring up Reed. Like
You don't have to go there to get the vulnerability, though. My God.
There's no vulnerability. Like we don't see Charlotte get her face busted open. We don't see Charlotte lose all the time. We don't see Charlotte like do anything that's really vulnerable because she's just so much better than ever. Like that's her character. She's just so much better. Like I said, like Charlotte and Jade Cargill are literally the same character, but like obviously the wrestling skills are far apart, but they're literally the same character. Where without a championship, without a championship, what are you? You said that yesterday. And like when Becky came out, everybody cheered because it's big, and the match was just whatever. I feel that there was so much time wasted with this WrestleMania that when it got to after that match was over, I'm like, how many more matches?
Right, exactly. I was like, is this it? Okay.
Yeah.
And I guess we can get to, the main event. And here's where we will, and I made that point yesterday, we're going to start seeing what the actual main event is. Are we going to look at the one that was actually the better of the two, or just default to the second night? Because we will default to the one that was important this weekend. Main event was last night. Period. It was better. Story was better. It had so much more. And the thing is that we were watching it, and when it was over, we're like, "What? Why was that so fast?" And watched it again today, and it did go on, for the allotted 30 odd minutes. But why did it still feel like it was so short? Is it because not a lot happened? Not
a lot happened. It is a WrestleMania, or it is a wrestling match from 1995 in 2015 or 2025. And it's slow, it's plotting, it's a WWF match in WWE.
Yeah.
And
it was very rote because it was the wrestling wasn't bad. It was perfectly competent and professional, but it felt like really rote and kind of by the book. It felt more like they were marking or rehearsing than they were actually wrestling.
Yeah, it's
something was missing.
It was a match that was in your house, like 1995 match.
Yes, Thank
like,
you.
Like if we didn't have the setting for WrestleMania
Mhm.
and you put them in that arena that had the
Uh-huh.
house for in your house,
Yes.
then I would be like,
Where
oh,
the
okay.
entrance is now a whole big thing with no pyro. It's just like, you know, a cardboard thing. And they would just come out. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's what it is.
Take
to
away the
me.
window dressing and, you know, the whole Cena, all that. It was just regular. You know what it was? It was Sunday Night Heat.
Yeah, it's the Sunday Night Heat match as the main event.
Yes.
The match goes on. Cena is just getting heat the entire time, and
Sure.
it's whatever. And then, wild Travis Scott shows up. It's lit.
Okay, I'm gonna take a moment here. Upon my rewatch, I took a moment to look at at the Wikipedia page for all the celebrity, you know, appearances at WrestleMania over the years. I have determined that this was the most annoying, least useful of any of them. And that includes Jonathan Taylor Thomas being timekeeper.
Yeah.
It
seems to be the consensus across the board.
I'm happy that Travis Scott finally caught a crossroads.
Mm-hmm.
And also the song. The song for this was the worst sound ever. One of the
Fiend?
most. Oh my god!
Fiend?
Oh god!
Fiend.
I'm just so happy that it's over. So I can't hear it anymore.
Fiend.
Oh god! It was so bad, and he didn't bring any excitement to it, especially because as a performer, he brings no excitement. I mean, he's got kind of a dead face. Can't you? You know what? I'm very, very bad at keeping up with rappers these days. But can't you even get one with like a hint of personality? Who could they get that would be better?
No, but it's Travis Scott, so it's lit. It's Travis Scott. It's lit. Like, don't get me wrong. I like Travis Scott's music. I mean, I'm not like in love with Travis Scott because my ADHD is not that bad, and I'm not that white of a child. That
I was gonna say no. You need a certain demographic.
Yeah,
really into him. So,
but I understand, you know, why. Like, he's popular. Like he's popular in the sneaker world. He's popular in fashion. He's popular with kids, like adults that are missing in child support.
ASAP
like
Rocky. Missing child support. Get ASAP Rocky.
ASAP Rocky's too like.
At least that guy has charisma.
Yeah, like
ASAP Rocky looks like, you know, dollar store version of ASAP.
ASAP Rocky is acting in the new Spike Lee movie, which is based off of a Akira Kurosawa movie.
Which one?
So, High Low. They redid High Low, and but I'm just like
artsy.
ASAP Rocky would not touch WWE.
He wouldn't. Yes,
like
he's too highbrow.
He's like, that man is literally like making children with Rihanna.
Yes, Rihanna would not let him go there.
Yeah, so
not even for the money, because she's like, I'm a billionaire. Why?
He gets to be a house husband. It must be nice.
Like and this is
fun stuff.
We didn't get a chance to talk about this because I just remembered. Stone Cold Steve Austin comes to announce that there's 63,000 people in the audience. He comes down to the ATV and hits the barrier, and that woman has one of the greatest bad sells ever, to the point now that WWE is just like, God, this woman might fucking sue us. Because like, she fell down, and then you see Nick Khan immediately jet over there. Be like, hey, are you okay? Because like, he hits the barrier, and then the woman is just like,
yeah, that was pretty funny.
And it's just like, the area wasn't big enough to do that.
No.
And but if you're sitting right there, like, if that thing didn't break, like if you didn't hurt yourself,
right,
and you're pulling an Ezel from Friday, then you look like an asshole.
Yes, totally.
But now jumping back to the Travis Scott situation, when the wild Travis Scott appears, I personally, like, when I saw that, I was just like, okay, Travis Scott's here, and you're like, well, can't wait for The Rock to show up. And then Dwayne did not show up, and that's when immediately I'm just like, this man literally fucked up an entire WrestleMania. It's like, by him not
Why
showing
would
up.
he even do the whole bit with Cena to not show up here?
Like, you gotta show up to work sometimes.
Sometimes.
Like, I know Roman and him are both Samoans who just don't show up to work, but you gotta do it sometimes. And so when Travis Scott has his fiend, when he has that play, and I see that he's just slowly walking down the ring, I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. And that's when I texted you when everything happened. I'm like, I think that he should have went through a table. Like, him taking a crossroads wasn't enough.
No.
He should have taken a kick. Like, yeah. And like, another thing that's really bugging me about wrestling now is the fact that everything, like in WrestleMania, everyone kicks out of everyone's finisher.
Yeah, they're overdoing it a little bit.
Like, this is not AEW.
Effective if you do it all the time.
Yeah.
Why are they watering down the riptide this much? Does she have to go off the top rope every time now to make sure that it? No. It's not as fun if you don't do it's not as effective if you do it all the time.
Yeah, like it doesn't make sense.
It made more sense last night for some reason, because a lot of those times where they were both kicking out of each other's finishers and using each other's finishers. For some reason, it was more effective that way. For someone to just use their finisher and for it to not work, it doesn't work as well. And he loses, and I'm not terribly upset at Cody losing, because I mean, he had a good long run. It was over a year, and he probably will have that belt again. I don't know, maybe if he'll take it off of Cena, but he probably will have it again. And especially because, Cena's, the clock's running out with Cena. He's not gonna. We know it's only gonna be so much time that he's gonna have that title now. We know that there's an end to it. It just wasn't exciting.
It wasn't exciting. It was very lackluster. And when you have lackluster events like that, it's hard to get people, like, you're there for the experience of WrestleMania. But if I paid $130 to go for nosebleeds for WrestleMania night 1, the next night that went, like, the price was $330 because everybody thought The Rock was going to show up.
That's a mean trick.
Yeah, because
horrible bait and switch.
It was a bait and switch, and it's not going to get talked about. But
we're talking about it here. Shit.
Yeah.
Well, no, there's an article that's saying exactly what you guys are saying. Everything.
Yeah.
Like it was a really weird bait and switch, and
it's Bleacher Report.
Yeah,
they're saying exactly the same thing you guys are saying. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people feel exactly the same way.
Yeah.
So
why involve yourself in the setup of something if you're not gonna see it through?
I think the quote for that is that when Travis Scott came out there and he wasn't followed by The Rock, the quote is that you could feel the air go out of the entire stadium. It's like
Yeah.
So
And, like, The Rock is probably in Hawaii doing some dumb shit with the Moana movie.
Yeah.
Like the live action Moana movie. Yeah, he's probably doing reshoots. However, don't position yourself as like, I can show up whenever the fuck I want to. I'm like,
and then not do it.
Yep.
And then being like, you're welcome when you show back up.
Right? Like, I'm here. You're welcome. Like,
he has a whole song, guys.
What can I say except you're welcome?
Man. I mean, how often does Chicago Phil have to be right?
Yeah.
Tell me when I'm lying.
Yeah. Like, in hindsight, that should have been the main event. But, with John Cena turn heel, that was just like, oh, shit, okay. Then this is going to be the main event. And then the wet fart happened, and now everybody's kind of pissed.
Yeah.
Like, don't overly charge people to, like, I saw families there.
Build it up.
Like, the masked man, David Shoemaker, is just like, yeah, I pretty much had to mortgage my kids' college fund to get tickets to this. And I'm like,
oh my God.
And I'm like, that's insane. Like a couple years ago, like I got floor seats for like $200 something.
Damn.
And then that was nosebleed prices.
That was a better match. And just as well built up.
Yeah, it was great. But I just it's just the fact that they don't do house shows to the rate that they used to. And TKO just brought in dynamic pricing, so they do it for scalpers, but no. Yeah. It's dumb. Yeah. Everything about it was just kind of dumb, and I'm glad I didn't.
Exciting to watch.
It's not. Yeah, the TKO of all is not as exciting to watch.
You know what? The bait and switch was in place for Cody and Cena. However, if you'd gone, you would have seen Dom win.
Yeah,
and that's how they get you.
Because
exactly half of what they do is awful. The other half is really great.
Yeah.
It's like, hey man, we've crafted a generation of racist, sexist assholes, and we create through our business model and through our reach in culture the circumstances through which you need to escape and give you the escapism. Oh, but here's Bianca Belair also. It's like,
boo, get her black ass off the screen. I'm not racist, but get her black ass off the screen.
So out of 10, how is this Mania? I would give it a 4, give it a 6 only for night 1.
Yeah.
But that 6 is the highest I could give it overall.
Yeah. Like it's a strong 6. It seemed like a really long episode, like the 2 nights together. It's like a really long episode of Raw.
It's like a really long episode of Raw. Exactly.
Like
with 1 or 2 really great moments that you'll talk about forever.
Yeah.
Be like, this is a great Raw and awesome Raw, but in a year you might forget which exact Raw that was.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh man.
This is for you guys with the ending of a certain
God, Bird Girl's getting feathers on the fucking ring again. Jesus.
Really?
Bitch, did you not learn your lesson last night?
No, it's her legacy now. She has to shed feathers every time.
They're blue tonight.
Oh God.
No, but like this is your guys' ending of a certain dragon show.
Which dragon show? Oh,
the only dragon show.
Definitely.
This is how I felt. For the ending of that water cooler show that nobody remembers anymore. Like it never existed.
Oh, I remember it all the way up to the long night.
Yeah.
Right there.
But I feel like that's the thing. It's like this thing that should be iconic, and you're just like, bleh.
Look, the best parts of it are still iconic, and that's the thing we're seeing kind of repeated in media and with this WrestleMania. The best parts of it are still going to be iconic. Where it landed is gonna tarnish it.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I get it.
Yeah. Yep. All right. I guess we'll come back for Backlash. And Backlash is coming up fast, by the way. They're booking themselves into every possible corner they can.
It's in 3 weeks, and we just and it makes sense now why the main event's the main event, because it's against St. Louis and Randy's from St. Louis.
Exactly. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, maybe that's also part of why they put him in that Mania in the first place, to remind us that he's there and around and in good shape and still ready to scrap. That might be why.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, follow us over on the social medias. At YouTube, we are at Home Wrestling League. You can find a lot of our shorts there. People like our shorts because, people don't have attention spans anymore.
I'm sorry, what was that?
People don't have attention spans anymore. At Twitter, if you're still there, I do still post our stuff from time to time at _HWL. I'm more active on our Instagram and Threads at home__wrestling_league, and at Blue Sky, where it's hard to get a handle on how things are going over there. We're at the HWL, but for right now, Instagram is where I do all of our doom scrolling. I gotta know what we're gonna see going on, man. But you know what? Here's what I'll leave you with. You don't know exactly how uber white John Cena is until you put him next to someone who's been tanning. Because I thought Cody Rhodes was white. He ain't white. John Cena is white. John Cena is Catholic Massachusetts white.